Welcome back. This is the Pioneer STEM Show, and today we have our guest with us. She's a woman in STEM, actually an engineer. She's an automobile technician. She's the CEO of Ayomatic's Auto Garage. Her name is Ayotunde. I am so glad meeting her because the first time I met her was on Instagram, so no physical meeting like this. And I'm so glad, we have busy schedules. She's able to make it here down to the studio just to encourage you, our viewers, that even as a woman, anything is possible. Thank you so much, Ayo, for coming despite your busy schedule. And you told me that you traveled all the way to make it this morning. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
this is
thank
just
you so much.
Studio. When I'm in the workshop, I'm a totally different person.
No wigs, no makeup.
No makeup.
Yeah, I see a lot of your works
Mm-hmm.
online. You're really getting lots of patronage. So well done. So what is it like? What took you into this field?
Well, let's just say I had a passion for cars from a very young age.
Okay.
And unfortunately, I couldn't get into a university to go for automobile engineering because what you have is either mechanical engineering.
Yeah.
But I wanted automobile engineering. When I couldn't get that, I decided, okay, let me just do computer science and then focus on learning how cars are repaired.
You are a computer science graduate. I mean, you should be working with the likes of Microsoft and Google and these IT companies, but you chose this field and because of your passion.
Exactly.
Okay, so when did you start your journey?
In 2014.
Wow, that's way back.
About 8 years ago.
About 8 years ago. Well, so in starting, I mean, this is a male-dominated field. I mean, you should. Am I correct?
Yeah, you are.
Exactly.
Yeah, you are.
So what were the challenges that you encountered? How did people start patronizing you? I mean, maybe back then, if you had called someone, they would have said, are you sure you can do this? So did you encounter things like that?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so
and
tell us.
I still encounter it up to now.
Whoa!
Even though I have my own workshop now, I still have customers who drive in and they will think I'm the secretary. Or
you are the secretary.
Yeah, because most of the time when people reach out to me on Instagram, they're like, hello sir, I want to fix my car. And I'm like, I've gotten tired of trying to correct this
so I
just respond and then give them the address to come down. And then when they get there, they meet me and they're like, sorry, can I talk to a mechanic? I have a problem with my car. And I'm like, go ahead.
So you're not like the receptionist. You're looking for.
Exactly. And they're like, you can't be the mechanic. I need somebody who understands my car. And sometimes you have the ones who will just embrace you like that when you tell them this is what I do. And some you have to really go the extra mile
to convince them. Now, this set of people that you go the extra mile, because we want to know where that bias is coming from. Is it from the men or even from fellow women?
Most of the time, I get it from the men.
Oh.
The ladies, they're always surprised. In fact, you get encouragement from them.
Oh, great.
But the men, sometimes, they're like, are you sure you can handle my car? Are you sure you can do this on my car? Are you sure you can do that on my car? And you have to just keep on trying to convince them before they really, really understand that you can do this. So you have cases where I have people working under me. I have staff who are men, and then they come into the workshop and they would rather want to talk to the guys. And those ones who tell them you have to go talk to her, they're like, is she really the mechanic? So I get that a lot of times.
And have you lost some revenue because of that?
Yes, I have. I've had a couple of customers who actually drove out.
Wow.
Because they feel like you can't just handle my car. And then back when I was training, although I trained in an institute that was pretty accommodating to both male and female technicians, so it was easy while I was training, although occasionally you have to go do some jobs outside and then you meet some other mechanics out there, male mechanics now, and they're like, you can't do this work, you can't do that work.
Guys, friends, viewers, we need to really break this bias because it's not funny. And you have testimonials of people that you have worked on their cars before and there's a good success story, right? Yeah. But even when you tell them that you've done this before, you've done that before, they still drive out.
Yeah,
What's
had a
that
couple
thing
of
causing them to drive out?
They just feel like as a lady, you don't have what it takes to handle their cars. The ones who believe in you will believe in you to the fullest. And the ones who don't,
Now I'm getting...
They don't. They just feel like you're a lady, so you don't have what it takes to actually handle a car. You don't have what it takes to repair the car. Even when you're trying to educate them on what they're supposed to do and what they're not supposed to do, you start hearing things like, They would rather listen to a guy than listen to you, that's the girl.
Now I'm getting pissed. You know, every day I hear these stories, and this is very touching. And so that's why we are actually dedicating this episode, so that we can break this bias. Okay, on to the next question. So how lucrative is your business?
Automobile repairs is a very lucrative business, and that's why a lot of people are trooping into it now.
Okay.
The only thing is, if you don't have the passion, you will end up moving out. Because every day the automobile world is evolving. You would notice that cars we have now are way different from cars we had back in the 90s, back in the early 2000s. There are more electricals, more electronics on the cars. There are more computerized systems on the cars. So if you do not move ahead and keep learning, exactly, you will find yourself just being phased out. And that is the problem we have with technicians. Most of them trained on older cars, and they've just refused to upgrade their skills. So they feel like, I have 15 years experience, I have 20 years experience, and then you come and you're like, I'm 8 years old in the field, and they feel like, what do you know?
What do you know?
Exactly. But the thing is, you need to have the passion, one, and you need to keep upgrading your skills in this field.
Absolutely, and that, I think you have mentioned it, but let me still ask the next question. So how are you preparing for the future of cars? Maybe moving into self-driving, it might take a longer time. Maybe moving into fully electrical, powered car or solar powered car. How are you preparing for that?
Well, like I said, upgrading your skills is very, very important. There are so many courses you can take online. There are so many courses, so many videos you can watch on YouTube and the rest that will help you upgrade your skills, even if you don't have the money to go for the very high-end courses. But you can. There are so many videos, so many foreign technicians, even our local technicians who are learned are beginning to put videos out online that will teach you how you can upgrade your skills. And even for that reason, at Ayotunde Sofela Garage, we have a training school that we educate the younger ones, where you can come in, you're a graduate, you're an undergraduate, you're not even learned, you just want to learn how cars work, because the most important thing is understand the basics of how a car works. When you understand the basics, you will be able to tackle almost anything on the car. So when people ask me, what cars do you specialize in, I tell them I work on any kind of car.
Wow.
And they're like, how do you do that?
Buses?
Any kind of car you bring in, any brand of car you bring in, I will work on. American, European, Toyota, any brand you bring in, I will work on it, because I have the basic knowledge of how cars work. So it makes it easy.
It starts from there.
Exactly. Once the foundation is okay, you can build anything on top of it.
Wow. Awesome.
But when you look at the roadside mechanics, what you have is, my boss showed me that when this goes bad, I change this. They don't understand why they are changing that thing. They just know when this breaks, we do this. So when you have a different car that doesn't have that particular thing looking like that, it becomes a problem for them. So you hear them saying, I'm a Toyota specialist, I'm a Honda specialist. But with the basic knowledge, which is what we give people when you come for the training, we teach you the basic knowledge, both theoretical and practical.
Okay, so how long, thank you for mentioning this training part. So how long does it last?
A 3-month course.
It's a 3-month course. Okay, so is it at your center, your garage?
Workshop,
so one can do it like virtually via.
For now,
have to
we
be
don't
physical.
have virtual. You have to be physical. You have to see how
to get your hands dirty.
Exactly.
Okay, great. So how much is it? I mean, are you already here now? So say
it's 100,000 for the 3 months.
For the 3 months, every day.
No, 3 days a week.
Okay, 3 days a week. Which days?
Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And because of those who are working, we shifted it to the evening. So between 4 to 7 in the
Okay.
evening.
Oh,
The class is
great.
taken. So even those who are going to school, I have a couple of secondary school students
Okay.
who come in after school. They come in and they come and learn.
Very.
So it's very, very easy. Even the working class ones, you close
Wow.
from work, you can still come in for the training.
Wow, this is awesome. So when is it starting?
We currently have one ongoing now. The next
Oh.
one will be starting in April.
In April. Oh, awesome. April when precisely?
The first week in April.
So where can we get more info concerning this?
Well, you can go to my Instagram page, Ayomatics_auto garage.
Ayomatics_auto garage. Okay. In fact, I feel like those men that drive off, you should just give me their number. let me talk to them.
No, the thing
Wow.
is, over time, people will get to understand that whatever a man does, you can find a woman there doing it equally the same way or even better. But it's going to take time and it's going to take a lot of encouragement from the society. I have a couple of ladies who I've seen come into this field,
Okay.
and they are doing well.
Great.
But we need encouragement from the society so that at least you don't feel discouraged.
Yes.
Because there are times when if you don't have that passion, by the time one or two people do that to you, you just feel like, what am I doing in this field? And as lucrative as it is, it has its own risks.
Yeah.
You have a lot of risks that you can go through. So that passion
Like
is
cuts,
key.
possibly.
Apart from bodily harms,
Yeah.
there are so many things that can go wrong. I've seen workshops burn, I've seen
Oh, wow.
so many things happen, and they can discourage you. But the major thing is the society accepting that a lady can equally do what
Do
a
it
man
just
is
like
doing.
we have lady drivers.
Exactly.
We have, you know, different ladies as medical doctors, so we can also have ladies in the
Exactly.
automobile industry. Okay, thank you so much, because hearing you speak, and you know, let's encourage these girls and women in this engineering field, the technician. So the technician part of it now, what does it, is there some kind of computer skills required?
Well, to an extent, you don't need any major computer skills.
Like
I
coding?
like to refer to myself as a technician because
Okay.
I don't just do mechanical repairs. So I can call myself a mechanic, but I don't just stick with mechanical repairs. I do mechanical repairs, electrical repairs. I do key and ECU programming on cars.
Wow.
So whatever it is that's relating to a car, once I find myself there, I will function properly.
Wow. How
That's
long?
why I call myself a technician.
Great. How long does it take you to repair like a car?
It depends on what it is that's being done. You can go from as short as maybe 30 minutes, an hour, to going like 2-3 days, depending on
Or even a
kind
week.
of work.
Depends if there are
Exactly.
multi-part malfunction
Exactly.
or in that car. Great. You're still watching the Pioneer STEM Show, our Women in STEM special series. When we return from our break, Ayotunde Sofela will be showcasing and teaching us a few things and give us tips about how to deal with our cars. We'll be right back after this short break.
Hello everyone, my name is Sofela Ayotunde. I'm the owner of Ayomatics Auto Garage, and I'm about to give you important tips to help you enjoy your car more. Tip number 1, create a good maintenance culture. Maintenance culture is going to go around the following things. 1, engine oil. You need to create a good maintenance routine for your engine. The engine oil is very, very important, and it's not just about creating a good maintenance routine, but it's also about knowing the kind of engine oil that you use on your car. A lot of people don't know about engine oil specification. They just buy any kind of engine oil and pour in the car, and this can ruin or shorten the lifespan of your engine. So if you are a car owner, it's very, very important that you know the kind of oil that's specified for your vehicle, and you also service regularly. Every 4,000 kilometers or 2,500 miles is perfect. And if you want to know the kind of oil that's specified for your car, then you can go to your owner's manual, or you can check on the oil filler cap. The oil filler cap is that part you open to pour engine oil into the car. So you can check on it. The specification is always written there. You will find either a 5W30 or a 5W20 or a 0W20, but you will always find it specified there. If you don't see it there, you can check your owner's manual, or you can do a Google search on it with the make, model and year of your car. Now, also still under the proper maintenance, your transmission, especially if you are driving an automatic automatic transmission, you need to service it regularly. And when I say regularly, I'm talking about at least once a year. And also, like the engine oil, you need to find out the recommended transmission fluid for the car. You don't just buy anything and pour inside. You get the recommended one and you use it to service the car at least once a year, and you are good to go. Now, tip number 2, make sure you have a safety kit in your car. When I talk about safety kit, I'm talking about your jacks, your wheel spanners, your safety stands. They're very, very small safety stands that are being sold out there. If possible, get a tire compressor, a tire pressure compressor that you can keep in your car, a very small one in case you have a flat tire. Also, it's very, very important for you to have a spare tire in your car. Whether it's a big spare tire or a donut size spare tire, make sure you have a spare tire, because you can have a flat anywhere, anytime. And if you have this safety kit, you are covered. You just have to take out the bad tire and put in your spare tire, and you are good to go. A lot of people drive around without a wheel spanner, drive around without a jack, drive around without a spare tire, and then when you have an issue on the road, you now start looking for where you get any of these things. But if you have that kit, you don't have to bother yourself. Tip number 3, it has to do with your tires as well. Tire pressure is very important. A lot of tire blowouts that we see happen on the road is because the tires are overinflated. There is a proper and specific pressure that you should have in your tires. Usually it is plastered on the side of the door, or you have a sticker by the side of the driver's door that you can check. Don't follow what roadside vulcanizers tell you. They'll tell you put in 50 psi, put in 45 psi. That is usually too high. And the moment you start driving and the tires start getting hot, you're going to have a little increment in the amount of air pressure there. So if you put in 45, know that by the time you finish driving, or while you're driving, it's going to go a little bit higher than that, which is why the manufacturer will usually recommend 32 psi or 35 psi at most. So whenever you are pumping your tires, make sure you have the recommended amount of air pressure inside your tires. And the last thing, please do not ignore noise. The last tip I'm going to give you is about noise. When you hear noise on your car, you hear suspension noise or any form of noise, do not ignore it, because it can lead to some serious and expensive repairs. So do not ignore noise at any point in time. Thank you so much. And once again, my name is Ayotunde Sofela. I'm the owner of Ayomatics Auto Garage.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is still the Pioneer STEM show, and we still have our guest in the studio. Her name is Ayotunde Sofela. So please, can you tell us more stories about what you face as a woman in the automobile field?
I remember this particular one very, very clearly, because the man drove in, and it was very early in the morning. We had just opened up, and he was like, he wanted his car checked. And I approached him. I told him, okay, I'm the one who's going to check. He said, no, call me a proper mechanic.
A proper mechanic.
And I was like, I'm the one who's going to check it. There's nobody else around. And he just got into his car and drove off. And I was just standing there looking like,
this is so annoying.
So it happens like that sometimes, where they just feel like you can't do it.
Wow.
And coming from the side of the customers, coming from the side of fellow mechanics who are men, they also get that sometimes. They come in and they're like, what can this one do? What can you do? And it's sometimes, if you don't have thick skin towards those things, you would start feeling bad immediately.
Wow.
Over the years, I've had to just grow a thick skin to whatever they're saying, focus on what I'm doing, and render premium service to my customers. The ones who have been able to come in and see what we do, continue referring people. But there are just some who don't. And this bias we're talking about is not just a Nigerian thing. We have this bias outside the country as well. So it's something that we generally worldwide have to start breaking. Ladies can do whatever it is they put their mind to.
Absolutely.
Whatever it is, as long as they have a passion for it, you will find that they even do it way better than the male folk.
Yeah.
And one other question I get is, how do you carry engines? Do you have the strength? Especially because I'm not somebody who's very, very fat. They see me and they're like, are you sure you can even handle a spanner on a car? But the thing is, technology has gone way beyond what we used to know. Gone are the days where you need 4 or 5 men to carry an engine up. You can just buy an engine crane and it does the job for you.
An engine crane, now you see.
It just does the job for you. So there's so much, and because cars are beginning to move to the computerized side of it,
yeah,
you have to be somebody who is knowledgeable about how these things work before you can actually fix some cars. You get to some people's workshop and you find a series of dead cars. Customers are complaining, not because they don't have the mechanical skills, but you see those electrical skills, the knowledge on how to deal with computerized systems, they don't have it.
Yeah,
and that is one of the problems that we're trying to solve. So please embrace ladies, especially when you see a lady mechanic out there.
Especially when you see Ayotunde Sofela and every other lady, I mean to say. Please, when you see a lady automobile technician, please do not look down on her. Her social media handle, or her company's social media handle is seen below. So please check her out on Instagram, and her mobile number is also available. Thank you so much for coming.